Welcome to Cartman Crawford and the Jersey Guy. Gentlemen.
What's up?
What's going on?
Right. So today we got a groovy guest. It's Miss Jenny. So she's back because she's the hard Ozzy fan. So today's episode is on Ozzy.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
I was in my car when I got the news, Jenny, and I was like, the first thing I thought about was you and your husband.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow, I know they know already.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of people just thought of us, I think, because my phone at least started blowing up. John didn't know right away, but yeah, right, that 2 to 2:30 time on Tuesday, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
it was a big time. Yeah,
Yeah, man. It's insane. Cannot believe it.
yeah,
Like that one struck
I know.
home, man. Like it really did. That was,
yeah.
yeah. Felt that one.
It was a big
Yeah, it
one.
was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
especially with that last show just being done and quite surprising to I think just about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, you were at the last show. So, I mean, you were officially at the last
You were
show.
there, which is awesome. You
Yeah.
got to see him one last time.
Yeah, maybe you could tell us about that. Like, how did that go? Like, how was the show? How did everything?
Well, the show was phenomenal. It really was. We hit the lottery with being able to get those tickets. It was any of us who got those tickets worked for those tickets, and anybody who didn't get tickets, they still worked for the tickets. You know what I mean? So we really felt blessed just to be there, get tickets originally, but then to be there, the energy in that stadium, not even just the stadium, the whole city of Birmingham was just embracing Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne where it all began. And you felt nothing but love everywhere you went. And every artist that was on that stage gave their all and was there for one reason, and it was to honor them. And you felt that.
That is
And
awesome.
yeah, it was phenomenal. And Sharon did her job. She put together quite the show because it's Sharon. It's Sharon who came up with this. It said, this is how we're going to do it. And a lot of people don't know that this event was a fundraiser. And it is the highest grossing fundraiser of all time.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's crazy. I didn't know that, man. I didn't
That's
know
awesome.
that.
I did see that.
What was the
Yeah.
fundraiser for?
It was there were 3 charities in England. One is for Parkinson's, one is a children's hospital, and I believe the third one is a hospice of some sort. I think it might even be a children's hospice, but I'm not really sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So every single band that was on that card was there on their own dollar. And
That's
some of those
insane.
bands only played for 20 minutes.
Wow.
That is crazy, man. That is so
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
How long was the show total?
Yeah. The show started at 1 in the afternoon and it went until 11 o'clock at night.
Nice.
Wow.
Dude.
An hour show.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And here's the thing is that they had a rotating stage. So the in-between time was very limited to about 10 to 15 minutes.
Whoa.
It was the fastest turnover and everything went smoothly, so much so I think they were ahead of schedule by the time Ozzy went on.
Wow.
And so the first band went on, Mastodon, which was freaking awesome. The drummer for Mastodon, he has a Randy Rhoads drum kit, and it was up there. So they went on, and then this band Rival Sons was on next. And sure enough, when Mastodon was done, the stage just rotated. And, they just need a couple minutes to tune things up. And, a lot of people, it started streaming on a 2-hour delay. And what a lot of people didn't see in between what we got were videos of other artists and celebrities giving homage to Ozzy especially, and Cyndi Lauper, Billy Idol. I know Billy Idol's guitarist is actually one of Ozzy's best friends, and they couldn't be there because they were on tour. But yeah, and then they showed, I don't know anybody who had gone to Ozfest in the past, but they used to show these funny videos before Ozzy came on, and it put him into movies and stuff. And So, and I'm sure any of those could be YouTube, but they were showing that kind of stuff in between. So it was pretty. I'm very grateful to have been there. And it's really when you leave that you really you're watching the videos and you're feeling the energy and you're just like, you are like, I was there. You know what I mean?
Man.
Totally. And you were across the pond. It was, it was
cool.
awesome to be there and
Yeah.
to experience that type of life over there.
I bet the vibe is different there too for a like to see Ozzy in like the UK. I'm sure the vibe has got to be a little like different, right? Like it's like because it's like or is it, or you think it's the same?
No, I would say. I mean, let me preface this because some people may not know me. Is that we've been to a lot. My husband loves Ozzy. Like he's having a hard time with this, as many people are. He loves Black Sabbath. Our dogs have been named after songs and things like that. So the love that Ozzy has is really phenomenal anywhere he goes. Yeah. Okay, the plain and simple. That's but awesome. When you're in Birmingham, England, where it all began,
right.
and this event did not just take place at the stadium. There were events and attractions all throughout Birmingham.
Wow.
So
awesome.
there's a bridge. It's called the Black Sabbath Bridge, and there's a bench there that it's there. And honestly, if anybody goes, there's a live stream there right now, and you can see the memorial that's been created at a lot of these places. Like there's mounds of flowers and notes and whatever it might be. But yeah, it was there. There was exhibits at the art museum. There was an Ozzy exhibit, and you got to see all the plaques for his stars on the Walk of Fame, one in Birmingham and the other one in Hollywood. Right. They had, murals all throughout the city. And then there was a life-size Ozzy, Lego Ozzy in one place. So this wasn't just go to the venue and this is it. It really was all of Birmingham. And there were a lot of Americans there, a lot of people from the UK, and a lot of Irish. There was people from all there was people from all over, but that's something that I noticed. So, nice. So the energy
that's
now was Ozfest the same kind of thing? Like just all that stuff out there, like the food trucks and the attractions and things like that.
Yes, Ozfest. I think that's Ozfest. The original Ozfest was 1997, and the reason that was actually developed, so people know this, is that because I think one of the other festivals kind of shunned Ozzy, and Sharon was like, "No, we're not doing that." So they started their own, and that's how Ozfest got started. So Ozfest also had multiple stages. So when you have a whole list of about 15 to 20 acts, do you know what I mean? Like, right. Let's say the bands that we had at this last concert, they all played small on one stage, small sets, but these other bands would play full sets. So you'd have multiple stages. You would have tons of food, all that. And sometimes like you'd have other like tents and pop-ups and just a lot of different things. And it used to travel, and then it got down to the point where they were individual shows.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That is
wild.
Yeah. It's a music festival, so there was so much going on,
Yeah.
Well, it was like a metal festival.
Yeah, it's an event. Exactly. The whole entire thing is an event.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then that was 97 it started. So then in the later years, they ended up going one-off shows. Japan had a few of those. And then the last two Ozfests actually were a combination of Ozfest and Knotfest from Slipknot. That's their festival.
Okay.
So it was 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. The first day was Ozfest. The second day was Knotfest. And they were out in San Bernardino, California. So we were there.
We
were there. That was the last time I said I'd camp at a festival.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then after that, Ozzy was trying to do his No More tours. He was on his final tour. And then his last show that he actually did before this most recent show was in California, and it was on New Year's Eve, 2018 to 2019. We were there. And and you got to ring in the new year with Ozzy Osbourne, spraying us down with water and everything else. And I got to tell you, that was the show of all. That was before this show, the show of all shows, because you felt like Sharon and Ozzy created a private party for you. The way there were tables set up outside, bar top tables, and it was, they take care of you. You know what I mean?
They appreciate their fans for sure.
Now, the funny is that you said that like I said, oh, the super fan, would you be on the show or whatever? And you're like, oh, I don't know about that. Meanwhile, listening to you right now, you are like, you and John are like the super fans, yo. What do you like? Yeah, you guys are awesome. Like, there's more information right there that I ever that I didn't even know about. I'm like, what? That's great. That is awesome.
Yeah,
Jenny, when you got off the plane, did you see anything right away? Was there anything out in the airport that way, in reference to the concert?
Not necessarily. We flew into Heathrow, which is like around London, and there is an airport in Birmingham, but we weren't at that airport. But you could tell who was there for the show because it started at JFK when we left. You see people with the shirt. You're going.
Oh my God, that's
at
great.
JFK. Yep. And then you get somewhere else. They're like, yo, you're going to the show. And there were people we ran into because there was a Slayer show in London or in the London area the next night. And so there were people that were there for that, and they were like, "Oh, you were at the show," you know what I mean? Because you could buy, It was, we're very, very grateful. And honestly, yes, I'm a fan of Ozzy. I'm a fan of Black Sabbath. I remember, there's so many memories that not just mine and John's relationship. I mean, the first Ozfest 2004 that I went to was the first concert I'd ever gone to with John. That's the first concert I had gone to with John even then. And we weren't even together then. We were just close friends. So it is a big part of our life. And the history, you can't help but learn a lot about them, documentaries and meeting them. We just saw the Osbournes in person in 2022.
Right.
So,
you said that.
I love it. I love hearing all that because like it's so cool to be like a mega fan and like actually like go and see all these shows. That's like so
They're dedicated,
awesome.
man.
I love it. I really love it.
And
each so awesome.
each band of course has their own, but you're talking about Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah,
that's the guy. He's top.
Yeah,
heavy metal
legend.
He's his own brand. There was nobody. Excuse me, Jenny, real quick. Gene Simmons said he was talking about it. He said there was nothing before Ozzy. He said Ozzy created himself.
Right.
He says there was nothing that he could get from the past that he had in order for him to come up with this idea. Right. This was just who he was. It was original all the way through.
That is so freaking sick.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
Yeah. He is. And that's it. On that stage, again, any band that played, I mean, where do you ever know of Metallica to open for anybody? Where do you ever know of Guns N' Roses to open? Like, these are headlining bands that probably haven't opened, quote unquote, open for anybody in the last 10, 15 years. You know what I mean?
They probably jumped right away.
Exactly. And they were there. And the first thing that James Hetfield said from Metallica was, there would be no Metallica without Black Sabbath. And because a lot of people may not know, one of the first main tour that really big tour that Metallica was on was Black Sabbath brought them out with them. And a lot of other musicians too. Sharon and Ozzy were very big into supporting young artists. And that was the point of Ozfest, was to support these smaller bands, and to give them an avenue to promote themselves and to bring our community together. The rock and metal community is something like when I was brought into, I mean, I've always loved this music, but when you really become a part of this world, you realize at these shows, you're very safe. It is not unsafe at all because every single person there, you're considered family and everybody is aware of every person, aware of them. And right now, the Ozzy and Black Sabbath family, which we're all a part of, is grieving together. They're mourning together. And you see that through all the posts. I don't think any of us can pull up anything, Google or any of our feeds without something being on there. So
Right. Yeah. That is impressive. That is wild, man. And like I said, you and I were talking earlier, just the idea of like, did you even feel like this was going to be like his last one? Not so much that he was going to pass away, but like he wasn't going to do any more concerts or anything like that.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that he knew he needed to do this one last thing, get it done. He wanted to do it. He did it. and then he did the other show. You were telling me he did.
Well,
the
that's right. Yeah, Jenny was telling me he did Comic-Con the week
and
after.
then gone. Yeah, because he accomplished what he needed to do. He was ready, and he had every right to. Yeah. And now you can just pay homage to him every time you listen to a song. You're blasting it, and you think about him. It feels good, you know. You probably get a little melancholy with it and everything, but overall, you're like, I grew up with Ozzy. Yeah. I went to see him here. I went there. I mean, Jenny, you got this history that's
she does.
ridiculous. You know, I'm a Kiss fan, but there are Kiss fans who are like you, with the way they are. Like everyone has it, right? I know a lot about Kiss, but I was never like that,
right?
To that point where I was always trying to find the show or go somewhere. Everything. Not that it was a bad thing. It just didn't do nothing for me. You know, I got excited when I did go.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to see yo. But it's just an exciting feeling. So imagine being able to make it like a life of it and doing that. You know, that's awesome. You guys are great doing that stuff.
Well, we do enjoy, and you know, we've been reminiscing about all of our old shows that we've done, and that's what John said. You've got quite a few Ozzy shows under your belt too. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I never thought about it, but yeah. And to answer your question, Kenny, we all knew that was his last live performance. Period. We all knew that. That was made clear to us.
Okay.
And we were even told. I say we, the public. You know, is that don't expect to that you're going to get like this huge a whole Ozzy set or you're getting a whole Sabbath set.
Right.
This is it. You know, but for the record, he gave us 9 songs. Ooh. He gave us like five Ozzy songs and 4 Sabbath songs, and he was prepared to do like 7 or 8 or 9 Sabbath songs. I think time is what caught up that night. But every band that played either a Sabbath or a Ozzy cover.
Yeah. Yes.
GNR did 3. GNR did the most. They did 3. Wow. And then you had your super groups that were together. Steven Tyler was there.
Right. That's right.
It was, oh my God, it was awesome. I've never seen GNR live. I did.
I saw them.
We saw them together.
Tom and I saw them. Yeah. They were good.
So now you're there. Yeah. And I was telling Kenny earlier that was the first time that Axl met Ozzy was at this show.
Really?
Wow.
Never crossed paths.
Yeah.
That must have been huge for those guys when they were on stage, just going to town.
Imagine them both meeting each other for the first, after all this time. That must have been so wild.
Yeah. You can see videos. You can see online of all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And pictures. And, you know, my experience of this show was at the end, and I had told Kenny this earlier, in my mind, I literally thought, this guy could pass away tomorrow and honestly feel fulfilled. You could tell that. Right. He wanted to stand. He wanted to party. He just wanted to tell us all that he loved us, which he told everybody every single show. And he wanted us to know, like, he did it on his own terms.
Right.
And you could tell that he did it with the people he loved most and the people that loved him the most. And, you know, they took care of the artists. They took care of everybody like they were your family. True family. Even
Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry, Jenny.
No, I'm sorry about that. But like when we did meet the Osbournes in 2022, I straight up told Sharon like how wonderful we think that they are, and I know this about Ozzy, but her career is with him too. She's been with Ozzy since she's 18 years old, not as a couple, but her father was his manager, and then she later on became his manager when he went off on his own from Sabbath. But you know, they were all wonderful and hugging and kissing and everything else, and that's how they made everybody feel in their presence. And if you didn't and you crossed them, we all knew it.
There's that video floating around where she threw the coffee or tea or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And that chick's face, it was when she had the Sharon school of the School of Sharon. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
And this girl was talking junk about Ozzy, and Sharon got up
to coffee and
but you know what? That's because she's she does not
talk about me, but don't talk about him.
I love that. That's the way you should. That's the way people should be.
You know, nothing on there.
That's it.
I saw some of the video to the concert with Ozzy performing. He sounded good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He sounded good.
He sounded great. He really did. And actually, there is a documentary coming out about what he had to do to prepare for this particular show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there is that coming out that we know of. And then additionally, there is a movie coming out of the concert next year, 2026, and it's going to be compiled down to 100 minutes. So what I'm guessing, I don't know, but what I'm guessing is that you're probably going to get all of the covers that all those bands played. And then you're probably going to get the super groups and then Ozzy and Sabbath. That's my guess. Because how do you put 8 hours? Yeah, 8 hours into, 100 minutes. Yeah. So, and some of those artists are still, if anybody gets a chance to look up Youngblood's Changes performance, it's unbelievable. And he put that out as a single, I think that same week. And all proceeds go to the same charity. So it's still collecting money.
Right.
And it hit number one on the chart.
Wow.
That's so freaking great, man.
Yep.
I love it.
Lamb of God did the same thing. Yeah, they're one of their songs, the cover that they did. And all of the musicians, I think, or artists got sneakers. They were Ozzy Osbourne Adidas custom sneakers.
Come on.
And
that's awesome.
Randy Blythe, who has a wonderful story of his own. That's for another day. He's the lead singer of Lamb of God. And he went to see Ozzy as a fan to Comic-Con the following week and had him sign them so he could now auction them off for the charities as well. Wow. So that's awesome. That's the other takeaway from that last show in Birmingham. Every artist that was there, again, was not just saying, they were fans. They were fans themselves, because when we were going to all these attractions around Birmingham, they were there with us. We were waiting online to go on the bridge, and there was Randy Blythe, the singer for Lamb of God, and the drummer from Mastodon there chilling with us, talking to us while we're waiting and to take pictures.
Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
That must have been.
You really see.
Yeah. Experience sounds amazing.
Yeah. Like that was literally, bro. That's a once in a lifetime thing. Like, think about it. He passed. I'm just saying, like, just everybody being there and out hanging out with the fans, and they're just one of the fans. And that's how like you just said, Jenny, that's a family. You know what I'm saying? Like that, those, the metal people, like they're all fans.
And like she said, fans. So these guys were jamming to these songs,
Yeah.
They were, I want to play this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Do my version of it.
God. Yeah. Slayer did this amazing, sandwich. Like they either started with like a Sabbath song, then they went into like a Slayer song, then they brought it back to that Sabbath song. Oh my God.
There's a word for that, right? There's a word for that. I forget what it's.
The remix.
That sounds pretty cool, though, that they do it there. A lot of.
Yeah. Trippy is what it's called.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it is.
But Metallica played Johnny Blade, which when do you ever hear Johnny Blade? Like you to hear Metallica do that.
Right.
And, yeah. It's a very rare one. And you know what? Speaking of family, my 18-year-old niece got to go to this show.
Wow.
And now,
see, that's awesome.
Yeah.
She'll never forget that.
It was cool. No, she won't. It's like saying you're at Woodstock. And this kid got up at 5 a.m. when these tickets went on sale and got her own tickets, because the maximum tickets you could buy were 2 per household.
Wow.
So if I bought tickets and then John bought tickets and they had the same mailing address or a credit card or anything, they could cancel your tickets at any time.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want to take that risk. Yeah. So this kid got up. Yeah, this kid got up at 5 a.m. She got her tickets before I did. And then, so in turn, my brother-in-law was able to go. If I didn't get my ticket, I was taking that second one. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, beat him up real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Look at it. You can't get any better than that, man. His first concert, you know what I'm saying?
I looked up what that term was. I had to look it up because my brain wouldn't let me be normal. It's just called a melody. Because I know band's done that before. Like,
they'll mix the music.
Didn't Metallica do that with King Diamond? Not King Diamond. The band King Diamond was from. Can't think of the name.
Well, he's on his own now, but I forget. I can't think of
Merciful Fate.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, there was.
They
did like a melody with like 3 songs.
I love the song.
It was like 9 minutes.
So like,
I remember it was on like I think Garage Incorporated or something.
That is awesome, man. I'm so happy for you though that you were able to actually like. Because I mean, you were talking about this for a while. You were.
Oh my God,
that's awesome.
Yeah. It was the buildup was good. My poor husband has high anxiety. The poor guy was so anxious when we got on that plane. But I was glad that once we got there, you could embrace it all and again be with your Ozzy family and Black Sabbath Ozzy family. We got to go. The Crown is the bar where it all began, where they played. We got to check that out. I mean, a pub. But you couldn't go inside. But you were outside. All these things. John wanted to go to Ozzy's childhood home. He goes, I regret we didn't go there. I'm like, how do we know? He goes, it's public information. However, with that in mind, I did notice there was something online, and there is a note outside that childhood home, and there is a email address where people can leave, messages and stuff like.
That's pretty. That's a pretty cool courtesy.
That's awesome,
courtesy.
Man. Yeah, he. I mean, obviously, because now listening to everything that Jenny's saying, he and Sharon, they really were about their fans. You know what I mean? They really did have that kind of love for.
Because that's what put them there, bro.
Well, yeah, but some people are like, whatever, don't come to my lawn. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying right. But I'm saying it's just that it's someone who appreciates. They know why they're there for the reason. Your fans are what make you.
Yeah,
exactly. When you have that following like that. It's you can't put the other way on that and not give them. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
Ozzy was a good guy about that.
Yeah. I mean, cause like you and I talking, would switch up the little funnies that like for me, I want to be famous like that. I would love to be famous and, cause I'm that kind, like I think I can handle it. But there are some people that just can't handle that fame, that attention, you know what I mean? And they just can't function. And he used it to to just make people happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like she was saying, it kind of, he built community.
Yeah,
the whole Ozfest.
Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah. And I'm bugging out still that
those
was
concerts are huge.
Yeah.
And how many bands got
most of the time it's outside, right, Jen? Jenny?
What do you mean?
It was always outside. It was always outside. Yeah.
Isn't that what kind
of... It was always outside.
Okay.
Isn't that what kind of blew up Pantera? Isn't that where they, like Ozfest kind of blew them up? Or was it, or not? Or they were already kind of big?
I'm not sure about that. I don't want to misspeak and somebody come at me.
No, maybe. We'll say maybe.
But I believe you are correct in that Pantera definitely. Pantera probably got big. They get bigger. Well, actually, I here's a funny story. The first time that John ever got on a plane was to go see Pantera at an Ozfest in Texas.
Boom.
That's the first time he ever got on it, and the only reason he went there was to go to that Ozfest.
Really? He just flew there to do that?
Yeah, and first time, and that was before GPS. Remember Google Maps?
Right,
right.
Exactly.
So he and his friends got screwed up because they only printed the directions in one way, and then they didn't for him to go back. But anyway, but yeah, I think Pantera at a point opened for Ozzy. And I don't know if it was Sabbath or Ozzy or probably both, but yeah, and then that really led the way for them. And Metallica, they were with Metallica too.
Yeah, I guess what I'm just saying is like it's kind of like the same thing, like as the fact that all those bands kind of that got to go to Ozfest would get amplified. I mean, like you said, that was like the whole point, right? So they all kind of blew up from that, which is so awesome.
Yeah, it's got to be a rush as well, though. Think about it. You're at the Ozfest.
Oh, yeah.
You're jamming.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And
you put
the rush alone must be.
Yeah, dude.
Please.
It's a long day. It's a lot. It's doable. We've done them back to back too, like 2 days in a row. Like you go from Connecticut, and then all of a sudden you're down to like Philly.
Yeah.
Like back, when they're 2 days in a row, it's a little
much.
It can be tough. But Yeah, you got to know when to recover, and it's a little different now that we're in our 40s too. But you know, it's
we're getting older now.
We can still do 3 concerts in a week, but usually they're not back to back.
Just spread them apart a little bit, you know.
Spread them out,
yeah.
We'll stay at the Airbnb. We'll catch up.
We always got tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now,
actually, here's.
No, you first.
Sorry.
No, you first. No.
There's a thought that just came to me too, is that I just found out, because I saw Kenny a couple hours ago, and since then, we were supposed to go see Pantera in Jersey next Thursday. However, they just canceled their next 3 or 4 shows to mourn for what's going on. And they played a couple shows a couple nights ago, but and they added Planet Caravan back into their set, and with that song they have pictures of Dime and Vinny. So for people who don't know, they're brothers from Pantera, and they both passed away, and so they pay homage to them, and now they put Ozzy in it. And that was Wednesday night, I think Tuesday or Wednesday night, right after it happened. So they just canceled their show, so our show just got bumped. So who knows, this memorial or celebration of life that they're doing for Ozzy might be sooner than we think, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what popped in my head. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, it's interesting stuff, branches off of it, you know. One thing happens and then all this other stuff starts going in different directions.
Because he was the face, you know what I'm saying? He was like his music. When people didn't even know who exact Ozzy was, right? But they knew his music. Like they could hear oh, I love that song, and people would sing it, but not even know who Ozzy Osbourne was.
You know what's even nicer too? When you see, today I saw a video, Ozzy on stage somewhere, and there was a young kid with a flying V. It was like a blue guitar, and he was doing the solo to Crazy Train.
What?
And then Ozzy picks him up and holds him while the kid is doing the solo. It was the rush, you get the chills just thinking about it, you know, because this kid is jamming and he's doing it perfect.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's a crazy solo.
I mentioned Youngblood, and I forget which one, but he is an upcoming artist. And Ozzy and Ozzy, there's a video out there from the show that Ozzy's telling him, "You let us know if you need anything." And he looked at Ozzy and he said, "The music is enough."
Yeah.
He said, "The music is enough. Thank you for the music. The music is enough." And see, when Ozzy saw him last, he gave him a nice cross. A personal cross from Ozzy to him. So when he saw Ozzy at the show, he gave him a custom cross to Ozzy.
Oh.
And here, this is crazy. This guy performed in England, did this song Changes, then got on a plane to go to Belgium immediately to get to headline his own show.
Wow. See, that's love right there, man.
Yeah, that's
love.
I'm really mad I couldn't go.
You got to sleep on the flight.
Yo, listen, hell yeah.
Yeah. The things he'll do, man. That's why it's you know what? So much respect, and that's nothing but love. You see, nothing but love for Ozzy. Reality shows. Look at that. First reality show was the Osbourne. So for anybody who doesn't even know Black Sabbath or Ozzy from their musical industry, we do. We all do. But to then see them from that reality show and then sharing out there, we've grown to love the family, and that's it. They all do everything together.
Was that the first? Was that the first celebrity family reality show?
I think so. I think she's right.
It was the first.
Yeah, because after
first reality show.
Yeah,
I'm not going to question her because
no. Yeah, no. That's
I'm just talking. I was like, wow, and that, you know what I mean. And then all the other ones started coming out after that.
Right.
All these different.
They did. And I can only say that with certainty because it's come up. And again, when whether I want it or not, I hear and see Ozzy all the time. Meaning, because my husband is so passionate. And I don't want to sound like downplay it, but interviews and documentaries. And there's a one out there called Patient Number 9. And Jack Osbourne is actually the one to produce it. Anybody who can see it, go and see it. We saw a special screening. I mean, it's already been out for a while, but when we were in Birmingham, there was a special screening of it. And then Jack did Q&As after. We didn't get those the Q&A, but we were there and you saw some extra stuff. And it really gets you into that world of Ozzy and that family. And, it's daffodils and daisies all the time, you know?
Yeah. He does a lot of poltergeist, a lot of ghost hunting, and
he was doing that too.
A lot of Bigfoot stuff. He does a lot of crazy stuff. His son is amazing. I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
He goes and checks these things out.
Well, I have
when I met him.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You first.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was
just going to say when back in 2022 when we met the Osbourne, that's one of the first things that I told Jack. I was like, we live near the UFO capital of New York, or the East Coast, and he was like, "Really? Where is that?"
Yes, that's Monroe, New York.
Yeah,
no, is it Monroe?
Pine Bush.
No, it's Pine Bush.
Pine Bush. Yeah,
Pine Bush. Yeah,
that is funny.
Yeah,
I know that.
I took a picture with stormtroopers there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they have the what you call it, the parade.
That's right.
That is fucking hilarious.
The alien parade.
But my question to you though, Jenny, is. So, I grew up saw Band-Aid when Queen performed.
Right.
It was Freddie Mercury's last performance. And, he's there and he was singing and everybody in the crowd sang with him. Like they showed at the end of the movie. And, I was in front of my TV. I swear I could sing something like Freddie. So now, was that, I know the children.
I don't think it was his last though.
It was his last concert.
Live Aid. No, I
think it was
don't
his
think
last big
so.
one. No, I could have sworn that was his last big one.
I think you're right. I think it was the last big production that like people, but I think they still did.
They still
tour. I think they sort of
because he was sick and he knew that.
Yeah,
so he did it for as long as he could, and he did it actually.
All right, so now
pretty much close to the end.
All right, I take it back.
I believe that nobody really knew. It's after that performance that everybody then found out.
Okay. So
he didn't tell him, but
Right.
So now was that the same, like the way he had the whole crowd just singing with him and want to be? Was that like kind of like what the concert you went to was like? You know what I'm saying?
The whole concert.
Yes.
The whole concert
awesome.
was like that, and especially. Ozzy ended his set with "Mama, I'm Coming Home." Everybody was saying to that. Like I said, young ones equipment of changes. I mean, like you're and Ozzy played a lot from that first album with Randy Rhoads. Most of the songs that I think all but Mama, I'm Coming Home was from that album. And then so you definitely felt it. You felt the love. Everybody was singing to it. Hey, we walked into the museum to see the art exhibit, and they had a video screen there, and "Mama, I'm Coming Home" was coming on, and John said, "Come on, everybody, and Mama, I'm coming home." So there in the museum, you have everybody
singing the song.
Great.
It's something.
So you definitely,
That's. I love that feeling when you go to a concert. And of course, some of the magnitude that she went to. Mm-hmm. But most of the time when you go and the band lets you sing.
Yes.
When you like they want you to do it and you hear the audience, there's like you get this rush.
Remember they did that at the A&R concert.
Yeah.
Metallica will do that too. Yeah. And then,
Billy Joel does that a lot.
That is awesome. Yeah. And then you feel kind of groovy because you're singing the song. Like, the words. Yeah. Now that like you almost feel like that connection with the artist,
and the people around you because you're all jamming together.
Or like just that's what the lighters and coming back and you
the lighters. I'm just standing there singing.
Singing, everybody rocking together.
That's right.
That's awesome.
And even if you don't know the words, you still enjoy it and you're singing and just loving it.
Of course.
The energy alone. It's like it really is like a natural high. We're all putting out this positive energy and feeling the love. Like you're all there for the same reason. How could you not enjoy that? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's like from the moment I was standing in line, I'll preface this by like all we were fortunate to have friends there as well. Like it was the four of us, childhood friend of John's, and then two other people. We all had separate entrances because we all had different tickets. I had an entrance I was by myself, So I met a brother and sister online, and that was just it. Like instantly we were friends. They shared a drink with me online. We walked in and we hung out together until I met up with my group. Yeah, we had another. Let's get a pint. Okay, let's get another one.
Nice. Yes. Sound like we got to go anywhere.
Yeah, right. No place. We're here. We're here to enjoy it. That's it, baby.
Exactly.
Yes, that is.
The venue was different. The venue. I'm not going to speak ill of the venue, but that is one thing that there is a difference of that we noticeably see from the U.S.
I heard that ice is a big issue out there.
What?
Ice. They don't give you a lot of ice. You have to ask for it.
Oh, yes. No, it's terrible. Yeah, in England in general. Like John ordered a drink, and they don't really do mixed drinks. Like he asked for a Jack and Coke. They put it in the glass. He asked for a double. It's like a single. And
Right.
then he's like, can I have ice? Like a lot of it. And then they hand you like the soda on the side. But the venues themselves, like our venues are just a little bit different with the way they handle like the food and it's just different, you know. And they did have sniffer dogs there. Really? I saw somebody get pulled out of line. Yeah, I'm standing in line, and all of a sudden these sniffer dogs are like, "You want to step out of line?" He said it to someone, and I was like, sniffer dogs. I'm like, damn, you know. Yeah,
wow. That's insane. Yeah, I wouldn't.
They did not play Sweetly. Yeah.
Oh, no way. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No way. I would have been like,
well, you know, you got to, especially with something that big. You get people. Unfortunately, today's world, you have to be safe. You know, you got to have some kind of security.
Yeah. Well, wait, you talking about? They were sniffing for weed?
No, I think they were looking for drugs. I'm sure they were sniffing for anything, but I think they were mostly sniffing for drugs.
Most likely.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised. Like, you know, I mean, not saying that everybody goes to the concerts or potheads or nothing like that.
But sometimes you can get
the few people that, the bad things too. But
it is so different from here. It is so different.
Right. I would imagine.
Here, it is so different than here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hilarious.
We're a little bit more.
It was awesome.
There's something about though seeing like a band or artist that like is like legendary.
Right.
It's like a different atmosphere than going to see like a newer band. I mean, you know what I mean? Because you hear them on the radio your entire life, and then all of a sudden, like, holy shit,
I'm here.
Well, I'm seeing them play.
I could attest to that because I remember, you know, when I was a kid, I was 11 years old.
Yeah,
I wanted to see Kiss more than anything.
Yeah,
and the only person that would take with me was my uncle.
Right.
So I had to go, but I totally forgot he was there. I was jamming.
Yeah.
I had my guitar, my drums, everything. I was just jamming to that concert. And then when they came back and did the reunion, I went with my best friend. That was pretty cool because that was awesome because they all got back together, you know. So you get that, you know, that excitement. You know, it's cool to go through that.
Yeah, I love it. That is the freaking bomb.
Be able to tell that story, you know.
Yeah, that is great, man.
Real quick, real quick story. I actually cut out of school. I won't say how we got there into the city. But Kiss was when they didn't have. They took the makeup off, and they had what was the album? It was I can't remember this.
Yeah.
But anyway, we cut out of school to go see them. It was at Sam Goody's across street from Radio City.
Yeah.
And I got caught between the glass because my friend, this line's not even moving because everybody tried to go in all at once. So nobody can get in. So I got caught between the glass and the people, and they were pushing. You can feel the glass starting to break, and they pulled me in. So I got an autograph, Paul Stanley, Vinny Visowitz, and, you know, it was just, but
nice.
That happened. That's pretty
sweet.
cool.
That's awesome.
That is sweet.
But that being said.
Yeah. Well, Jenny, again, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this with us,
I mean,
man.
that is such an awesome story. You know,
it was great.
You know.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. And you know what? There's like, I know this is a side note, but we have a lot of stuff in my house that's like Ozzy all over it. It's like, but like these limited signs and posters, and we're so grateful to have been there. It's not about all that stuff, but it's memories, and you really feel like the love in these things, and it reminds you of this. And like you said, Tom, like, to see these legendary people, it's and even with him passing, it's like you know, Jerry Garcia or you know what I mean. Like
he's up there. Yeah, he's with the top ones. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Well,
thank you.
Awesome.
Well, I said
no problem. Thanks, guys.
All right, no, thank you. Don't hang up yet, though, Jenny. Give me 1 sec.
I won't.
To everybody else, thank you guys for listening. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And stay weird.
Yeah.